What's up, y'all? Y'all already know it's Mikey B, man. Huddle up, man. Today we talking about Gillie's son, Cheese, being killed in Philly. It's a travesty. Another life lost, along with all the other lives that we live in, that we lose in our communities every day. Just want to give y'all different perspectives on this. It's a lot of different shows I've been watching, a lot of different perspectives. Conspiracy theories, and things like that going on. I'll probably, tap in on some of those things. I'm going to talk about the spiritual aspects. We're going to talk about, sacrifices, hip hop, the whole, conspiracy of, people going through these doors and sacrificing people to be successful in the music industry, in Hollywood, in these different industries. So let's just start with Spection. What's up? Salute to everybody that's in the building. So let's just start with, Gillie's son being in Philly. A lot of people are just saying, why does Gillie have his son in Philly? Why is this man out here? Why is he out here? Why would he let his sons? He got all his money. Why would his son? Once you are 20-something-year-old, you are your own man. Gillie, just like all of our parents had no bearing over us when we were growing up and we were coming up in the hood. And they couldn't even tell us when we were kids. They couldn't tell us what to do. How do you think somebody's going to tell a grown man where to go and how to feel and, how to be who he is as far as making his name in the rap game? Gillie had no authority over that. That young man was a grown man, able to make his own decisions, wise or not, be in his community, and do the things that he needed to do to chase his career in the music industry. A lot of people always, blame these things on the parents of these people that are in the music industry with this money. Like, they can change an adult life. Like, put yourself in this person's shoes. How much did you listen to your parents? Could your parents just tell you anywhere to go and you don't go? Or did you go when you wanted to go and you do what you wanted to do as an adult? But there's some greater things to be asked and to be spoken on in this whole, situation. Like, let's talk about the money. Because everybody's going back to the money. Everybody goes back. It's a lot of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of things as far as that money is concerned in hip hop, the door, and things of that nature. Now, me coming from a spiritual family, from a spiritual background, and being a spiritual person myself, personally, I think there's some validity to what people are saying with those connections to the occult in Hollywood and the music industry, personally. Because, there's no mistakes. Hindsight is 20/20. When we look back on all the people and the destruction of themselves and their families after signing major deals, after doing major things, then there is some correlation, I think, between that money and the mishaps and the deaths and the families of a lot of these people in basketball. We've seen it in different, not just hip hop, but in Hollywood, in basketball, in any of these major deals. In the Bible it says, money is the root to all evil. Do I think they're using that as a way when you sign these contracts? Are things encoded into them that you don't know about? See, a lot of people are trying to say, well, you got to sacrifice this person. You got to make a blood sacrifice to get this money. I don't think that's definitely the case. I don't always think that's the case, but I think once you go into these deals, with the quote unquote devil, then this is where you are making a mistake at, not from, the actual, not from the actual, you saying, all right, I'm gonna give somebody up, I'm gonna sacrifice somebody in my family, but from you just making the deal itself. I think something is encoded into that deal, and once you start making deals with certain people, if you know they're the devil or not, I think it automatically brings some things to you that you probably wouldn't normally have to deal with. But then we can say, hey, children, family members are dying in our communities every day. Why would we equate this to hip hop? Why would we equate this to, Hollywood? Why would we equate this to sports? But you have to think about this when the people that are getting the deals are coming out and speaking about this. See, this is when you have to start taking and believing some of it, because now, Noriega, Kanye West, a lot of whistleblowers have come out from the industry and told about all these things that are going on behind the scenes. So this is when we have to really start considering this stuff. So I think, do I think people are actually knowing they're going to sign themselves or trying to find ways to make deals with the devil to make money? I think those people are out there as well. I think those cults and, those people are out there as well. I don't think that's far-fetched. I don't think that's far-fetched. Rafael Ortega, salute. James P., what up? So I don't think that's far. I think people are out there actually doing that and are willing to make these sacrifices, for fame and fortune. I believe that. But we have to take into consideration all of these people in these industries that are coming out and speaking about this door that you go through. You can go through this way and you can go through that way. In a lot of my studies with, esoteric teachings and Masonic stuff and Illuminati and stuff that I learned about that is levels. It's different levels to that stuff. You see what I'm saying? And you might think you down, but you at a lower level once you don't do certain things, once you're not willing to commit certain acts. So I believe on that level alone that, that a lot of this stuff is true, and that is some spiritual aspect of this. When you sign these deals, that is bringing death to you. Like a lot of this stuff, some of our greatest teachers, they took oaths of, all kind of different oaths as far as chastity. They don't have any wealth, any money. They didn't own homes. They didn't own things because they knew already that once you got yourself into these systems, into these ways of thinking, you want to bring things to yourself automatically. Evil was coming to your door when they know you got money, when they know evil is going to come to you regardless. Especially when you in the hood, flashing all kind of money. We can name all kind of rappers that got killed all over America for different squabbles over money, for different beats, for their chains, for their jewelry, just from dudes putting hits on them. And so I think, with that level, B.I.G. said it best: more money, more problems. So I think that's something that we really have to look into and think about from those perspectives. Do I think everybody's, like I said, I don't think everybody's making these deals with the devil, but I think there are some people that are. I think we do have our people that are out here ready to sign up and say, hey, if I sign this paper, you're going to lose somebody close to you. Are you willing Are you willing to do that? And you know, for this fame, for this money, are you willing to take that sacrifice? And I think some people are willing. I think some people are out there willing to take that sacrifice and say, "Hey, yo, you know, whatever happens, happens. Um, let me get this money." I mean, a lot of people that was in the streets, they did it anyway. You living in the community, you robbing people in your own community, you doing stuff, and you bringing this beat back to your doorstep. People, we bring stuff back to our doorsteps all the time, inadvertently. Going to war in our communities. But I think, you know, from that perspective, you gotta ask those questions. You gotta think about that. You gotta take all of that into consideration. Yeah, you gotta take all that into consideration. I don't think Gillie should be blamed, you know, for what his son has gone through. You know, his son losing his life. I don't think Gillie should take blame for that. Should he take blame for his leadership towards his son? Of course, because that's his father, you know. So he has to have some. He has to have some. He has to get some of it. Right, definitely. Life is a war. You're right. I mean, yo, Raphael Ortega, you got to remember when we walk out our doors in a lot of our communities, there is a war going on outside in front of our houses, bro. There is actual war. The stuff that like we see in America in a lot of these big cities with these kids going to war, and you know, as far as the gang stuff, a lot of that different stuff that's going on. If we Americans were looking at these child kids killing each other in another country, we would say, let's help them, let's send them money, let's do all these different things. But we don't do that stuff for the kids in the Bronx. We don't do that stuff for these people in Philly. We don't do that stuff for our own communities. We might, you know, broadcast it, make a shrine. There's shrines all over the community with different, you know, flowers and teddy bears and different things of that nature. But the way the American government throws money at other countries when they see their kids going through stuff, they don't throw it at our own kids. We don't throw that money at our own kids. Just being honest. Right? We throw money at war-torn kids in, you know, Cambodia or Africa, or, you know, kids that's going through this stuff. But there's kids right here in America going through that same stuff. Every day they got to worry about getting shot. Every day they got to worry about getting killed. Just being honest, bro. Just another perspective, you heard? Yo, Daryl Carr, salute. We see that every day in our own community, bro. But we'll spend money to go help other communities. And I'm not talking about us as individuals. I'm talking about us as a nation, America. We will go spend that money in other countries for their kids, and we'll say, hey, look at these kids. They doing so bad, but we got them kids doing just as bad in America, and they ain't throwing no money at them. We might got nonprofit organizations, and big up to all nonprofit organizations that are out here doing the work on the front line. But a lot of that, and don't get me wrong, a lot of those nonprofit organizations are government-funded organizations. But we could, and I'm a part of that. I work for a nonprofit organization on the front line doing a lot of this stuff. So I can attest to the money that's being given. But it should be given on a more grander scale. They could do things on a bigger level, on a bigger scale, right? They could throw $1 billion at it. Right. You right about that. The wolf kids dumping an opinion of sheep. You right about that. You ain't tell no lies, man. You ain't tell no lies when you said that, bro. But you know, as far as us, you know, and you know, back to Cheese. You know, I don't know the lifestyle he was living. I will lie to you if I tell you the YNG in his name, what that stood for. If that was a gang affiliation or not, I don't know. Y'all might know more than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. But, when you have these affiliations and you from these communities, a lot of these communities had long-standing beefs. It's a lot going on in these communities. Old beefs follow people. You don't know just because you did something. Yo, Melquan the General, what up? You already know it's her love. Salute. Old beefs follow people. If they can't get you, they'll get your man. And if you stay in these same communities where you might have went through some of this stuff, then you always put yourself and your family at risk of losing their life. Just being honest, you heard? We see a lot of these record labels. They got these letters and they calling themselves this, that, and the third. And, they getting RICO'd because they doubling as gangs. So if you out there in the streets and you on that time, you only can expect certain things to come at you. And in certain communities, you know what I mean? But I think, like I said a little bit earlier, I think from a spiritual aspect, I think once these people start signing these deals, there's probably things encoded into these deals that you don't even know about. And I'm talking about spiritual things on another level. That's like right now, we all got Wi-Fi. We all watching this. We can't see Wi-Fi coming to our phones, but we know we got Wi-Fi. We know we got bars. That's how the spirit works, man. It's a bunch of energy working around us that we can't really see, that we don't really know. And it's governing stuff and it's going on around us. Just being honest, right? Right. Facts. You know what I mean? Just being honest on that. There's a lot of stuff being encoded into this stuff that we don't understand. There's things that's outside of our understanding that these people understand that they got, access to that we don't. That we don't. You know what I mean? We got all kind of stuff. Microwaves. We can't see none of that stuff. We know it's heating up when we put it in the microwave. It's there. We know all that stuff is going on. So we gotta pay attention to that. And you gotta remember, they make saints. These saints were made from people. Right, Donald Call, right. And you got to remember, these saints are being made. Even now, a lot of these Catholic, people that are heavily into the church, that are giving their lives to the church. What up, Chocolate Kisses? That are giving their lives to the church. Later on, these churches are going to make them saints. The Catholic Church is going to make them saints later on in their lives. Somebody like Martin Luther King, 200 years from now, Martin Luther King, he might be a Christ to somebody in the future. He might be a form of God in the future, bro, 200 years from now. Like they did, and don't get me wrong, sometimes our sight we can't see right here. But in a long perspective of that, do I think there's prophets amongst us? Yeah. Just like I know there's devils amongst us. But we got prophets being born. There's people being born into this world, bro. That's prophets. That's here to give us information. You see what I'm saying? So we can't, forget the spiritual aspect that we were born into, that, our families guided us into. We can't forget that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, we have these conversations. We have a lot of these conversations, and that never plays a role in the conversation that it has. And it should play a role. It should be the biggest part of the whole conversation, but we miss out on that because, we on whatever time that we on. So that gets thrown to the wayside. But sometimes that is the biggest conversation. That is the biggest thing. That is not the smallest thing. That's the biggest thing. Just saying. Just saying. That's just another aspect of, the spiritual that we not really recognizing. We looking from a short perspective. But they creating gods. They creating religions. They creating saints. They putting saints in these long-term religions. They creating more saints every 50 years. There's new saints being made, Catholic saints. These people that were walking now they're saints. They put them up in their church and they say they're saints. I don't know who has the right to make somebody a saint or who does that, but I know it's being done. And I know that's something that escaped us in our community. A lot of the stuff that we built, a lot of the stuff that we understood at one time, they give us all this other stuff to distract us. So we're not paying attention to that part of that spiritual aspect of our lives. And really the spirit should be the most thing that we focus on, building our spirits. Because this is what gets us through. This is what, helps us get to that next level. Yeah, bro. That's what the spirit is like. The spirit of the people. Just think about that. The spirit of the people. That's our collective spirit. We have individual spirits like raindrops. And then when we get together and we all, feel a certain way about one thing, then it becomes a united spirit, a united thing. A lot of these things, they go past us, though. A lot of these things, with our everyday lives, how we living, we don't even think about this stuff. We don't think about the spiritual aspects, and that's our strongest part. A strong spirit will make a strong body. What's one of the sayings they say? It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog, right? That's spirit. That's energy. That's something, that's something you're born with. That's something that you already have. Can they be diminished? Can they be belittled? Of course they can. Thank you, Chocolate Kisses. Appreciate you. Can they be diminished? Can they be downtrodden? Can they be tarnished? I believe they can, but they can't be destroyed. They cannot be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So from that aspect, I know we always, have an opportunity to make it, to come back from whatever we're going through. And like I said, a lot of times when we making these deals, when we doing these certain things, we bring this energy to us, and now it's there, it's stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's up, it's stuck. Now you have to deal with all the things that energy brings. Right, Daryl Call. Right, Daryl Call. Thank you, Chocolate Kisses. I appreciate you. But, this is what we facing. This is the fight that we on the front line on. This is the fight that we facing in our communities. And Gillie, Gillie and them, all they're showing them is that you know better than what's actually going on. You know better than them. You know better than what's going on. Straight up. I agree with sins of the father, but I agree with that. I agree with sins of the father. I agree with that. But you know, a lot of people, a lot of times we out here getting in this community, we getting things that we don't deserve. There's a lot of people, you know, that deserve some of the stuff that they get, but then you got kids and you got people out here getting things that they don't deserve. You see what I'm saying? Straight up. Yo, Beeville E, what up? Yeah, man, but you know, I know Gillie and them, they going through a hard time at this time, man. And you know, we should be just supporting these, we should just be supporting him. And ain't nothing wrong with, you know, he's a celebrity, he's celebrity news. So you know, you talk about this stuff, but some of the ways that these people talk about these people and you know, in their times of mourning is bad. You know what I'm saying? But I think there is a bigger story about the spiritual aspect, behind signing these deals, like to some of these companies, and you know, getting into certain things, especially things that are detrimental to your own family and to your own people. A lot of this stuff is totally against us. A lot of the music that's being made, they promote music that's going to belittle us. And don't say I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else, because I listen to a lot of the music too. I listen to all kind of different stuff, just to be honest, you know, and be transparent. But we know a lot of this stuff is not built for the betterment of us. It's not music that's being promoted to show the best of us and who we are today. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying? So you know, that aspect also is like you buying into the murder of your own people. You selling into that. And even with the death of homie from the Migos, right? Well, that was Offset, right? No, Takeoff. Even with his death, and you know, him having an opportunity to speak to Jay Prince shortly after that, and his sons, and the whole thing that went on with them. A lot of this stuff is like energy that's being, you know, you have the opportunity to speak to power. You have the opportunity with powerful men that's killing other sons, or have, you know, played a part in the death of other sons, and you held your hand on that. You know, now death is on your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think a lot of this stuff, you know, it goes around in the universe. We're gonna check. We're gonna get things like this when we move in a certain way, and when we bring a certain energy to us. Just being honest. You know what I'm saying? When you have time, when you have the opportunity to like put these dudes on the spot, like, yo, you out here killing kids, like, yo, y'all really with that? Like, yo, what's going on? To ask these certain questions. You know what I'm saying? And you don't. And you look, and you can see the look on his face when he's interviewing Jay Prince and him, that, you know, deep down inside, he didn't feel what was being set up there, how that whole thing was being portrayed, but he held his tongue. You know, maybe because of a deal, maybe because of he want dudes to come back. He didn't want to get Jay Prince mad or whatever. But that's energy you putting out there when you don't say nothing, when you don't speak to those issues and stuff like that. So I think all that plays a role in, you know, the things that happen to us in our lives. Just being honest, you heard? Just being honest. Just being honest. Straight up. I can't front on that. You know what I'm saying? We get these lessons. These are like hard lessons. And then we get what? They at our doorstep. Now we got to answer up to that. You know what I'm saying? Even with like R.I.P. to El Campo, even with the death of El Campo, that was like for a lot of us that be on YouTube, that was a wake-up call. A lot of this stuff is wake-up call. A lot of this stuff is lessons. A lot of this stuff that we see going on around us, and we can't put, our finger on it. But this is like a wake-up call. Some of this stuff be like, yo, this is your time. As a kid, I was really in touch with the spiritual. My family was in touch with the spiritual, and when I was a lot more in tune. In prison, I got even, I lost it in the streets. I got back in tune while I was in prison. But now I don't miss these like opportunities or certain things that I see that I know that can affect the bigger story, or the underlying story. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying? Just being honest. So, and I speak to that. I'm gonna speak to that every time, you know what I'm saying? Every time I get the opportunity to. And from a perspective where, everybody might not agree with. I'm not looking to be agreed with all the time. I'm not looking to be, Yo, Venezuela Reyes, what's up, man? Yo, why you say that, Venezuela? Why you say that, man? Yeah, it's all lessons. This is all lessons that we see now in Europe. It's a bigger picture. A lot of us is missing that. A lot of us, there's these sacrifices that are being made around us. They're for us. They're for us to understand. They're for us. Those lessons are there directly for us. They're issued to us. Slow down. No matter what I went through on YouTube, I always said, I don't want to see nothing happen to these guys. I don't care what they said about me. I don't care about none of that. That's my stance. I stay on that. I don't talk about kids, nobody's kids. I don't talk about nobody's wives. I don't do none of that. That's my stance. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Chocolate Kids. I appreciate you. But that's how I feel. You know what I mean? So, when you got your stance, you got to just go with it. But when you seeing this stuff happening around you, and you just turning a blind eye to it, and you have the voice, that where you can change stuff, where you can speak to stuff from a real perspective. And I'm not saying that we all don't have voices, because we all have our voices. Right now, even typing in the chat, you could be typing in good words or blessing or bringing, good energy to somebody in their life, which will, be good energy in your life. Just being honest. Just being honest. But for whatever reasons, for money, for other things, we hold our tongue on certain things that could be detrimental to the community, could be detrimental to somebody's life, could be the right position and stance to take, even if you're feeling that way. Like, yo, I mean, I can understand. On We Locked In, we had a story about when K Flock first caught his case and murdered that guy in the Bronx. And me, Moshe, and KK, and somebody else was on, and I think my man Joey P. Salute to Joey P. Salute to them. We Locked In. And on the panel, I asked anybody. Everybody knew Clay Flock's name, and it was a big story. Nobody knew the name of the victim. We had to go hard to get the name of the victim of that crime. So that was something that meant something to me, being what I've been through in my life, being just as impacted, doing the things that I did in my past life, serving time for that, affecting families. So that I understood us missing that, the importance of us missing that name. You see what I'm saying? I understood us missing the importance of us knowing the name of that victim and the spiritual consequences we pay for not knowing that. And eating up these stories And, thinking that we care about people, that we care about each other. But here it is. Nobody knows the name of these victims. Nobody knows, the other person that was everybody knows K Flock. Nobody knows, the name of the person that, he killed. Nobody knows that unless it's a little kid. If it's a man, it's a black man, it doesn't even count. And, these type of things that spiritually affect us. These are the things that can like erode your spirit, make you numb to people that look like you getting, murdered around you every day. You see what I'm saying? And for a while I was like that. I was numb. I'm not telling you nothing that that I didn't go through myself, things that I didn't think about, things that I wasn't taught. It just shows the callousness of us and how we are. It just shows how much that, it just shows how much that we have been desensitized to the murder of our own peoples. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. We desensitize. Real talk. Real talk. Just being honest. You know what I'm saying? But I do think there is a level of back to what we're talking about. I do think there's a level. All right, I was just giving to you. I need somebody to help. I need some people that I know that's going to help make sure the chat is right. It's all good though. It's all good. I took a chalk kiss. It's all good. But come on, man. Stop talking this goofy stuff in my chat. Venezuela right here. Stop it, man. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, Monster Mo? Salute. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, dealing with that, the spiritual aspects of that, this is what erodes the spirit. These things right here will tarnish your spirit, will have you in these lows and spiritual lows and feeling bad. You don't know why you're feeling bad. It's because your spirit is, you're doing things that are against who you are. You're doing things that are against your, you feel bad every day. You look bad. That stuff is spiritual stuff. That stuff is not stuff that you can, let me go put some makeup on. Let me go drink some water. No, your spirit is messed up. You got to change that. You got to, the Egyptians, yo, Yak, what up, salute. The Egyptians had an Egyptian lifestyle, right? Thank you, chocolate kisses. In the Egyptian lifestyle, it says, when to reach the afterlife, you have to, your heart is weighed against a feather. Your heart is weighed against a feather, and it has to balance. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a light heart. And a rapper from Philly, being that we talking about Cheese, his death, his demise, we're gonna use a rapper from Philly, Memphis Bleak. He said the game left me with a heavy heart. Right? When you do stuff to people, when you hold on to stuff, that's why I say I don't have beef with nobody on YouTube, because I'm not willing to put that on my spirit. I'm not gonna let that hold me into position. I'm not gonna let a feeling hold space in my mind, hold space in my heart, hold space in my life. I'll come up here and get it out. I'll talk my talk. I'll come up here and talk my mess and get it out and leave it alone. And it's gone for me after that. You see what I'm saying? I let it go to the universe. But having a heavy heart, that's something weighing on your spirit. You see what I'm saying? In order for me to get out here, in order for me to change my life, I had to let things go. I had to really change my life and let things go. You got to be able to do that sometimes. All right, you got that. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's not only you thinking about the other person, but this is a weight on you and your spirit. That is a weight on you. So, even, in the things that I did in the street, of course, I made amends with that, apologize to the families and things of that nature. But I also had to say, I forgive myself for that. Because as long as you don't forgive yourself, you still carry this weight around. You're going to still carry this weight around. And now it's weighing on your spirit. It's weighing on you daily. You see what I'm saying? I sleep good at night. Because I understand this. I understand the spiritual aspects of holding on to things, holding on to grudges, hating on people. All that stuff is a weight on you and your own spirit. That's a tarnish on you and your own spirit. That's hurting you more than it's hurting anybody else. Just being honest, you heard? Just being honest, you heard? Just being honest. Just being honest, bro. When you hold on to that stuff, and that's where that comes from. The game left me with a heavy heart. That comes from the Egyptian. So you check into it. Your heart is weighed against a feather. Your sins, whatever you got on your heart, whatever weight you got on your heart is weighed against a feather. If that feather goes up, if it don't balance, then you got to come back and do it all again because you messed up somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Or you didn't learn a lesson that you was here to learn, so you got to come back being reincarnated and do this all over again on this plane of existence. Right. Yo, salute to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like even Monster Mo, like I said, even all the YouTube stuff I've been going through, I'm not holding on to none of that, bro. I see somebody I gotta defend. I don't care what these dudes say on YouTube. That don't change my life or my family or my work or pay my bills or do none of that. I don't care about none of that stuff. Let these dudes talk. I answer back because I'm entertaining. I'm funny too. I'm funnier than you. But other than that, bro, I don't take these dudes seriously. I really don't. I don't take them seriously at all. After I get off here, get off this app, a lot of these dudes, they're not in my mind. They're not in my thoughts. Straight up. Okay. All right, Daryl Call. Salute, bro. Thanks for tapping in, man. You saying something now? You talking something, Venezuela Reyes? I mean, yeah, you gotta forgive. You forgive others if you forgive yourself. Sometimes in that, I know, right? I know it hurt the family. A lot of people don't understand the aspect that it hurt of the whole family. You know what I'm saying? So you not only whatever he did the time for, those people were hurt. His family was hurt. He was hurt in the process, and you got to forgive yourself. You got to learn to forgive yourself as well as, but an apology and forgiveness But with forgiveness, with that all comes with what? A real apology. Apology is only valid when you do what? When you don't do it again. If you keep on, if I came home and I still did the same things that I did to get in there, then how valid will my apology be? Right? How valid will my change be? Just being honest. So with those things come, you have to, you have to forgive yourself in that whole process. You already know. You gotta have a light heart, man. You can't be running around here with no heavy heart, man. You gotta get all that stuff off your chest, whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your chest, whatever feelings you gotta get that stuff off. You gotta be able to just say, move on from that. Only then can you change your life. Only then can you really live. How much you are, if you carrying this weight around. That's what Erykah Badu's song Bag Lady was about. A woman carrying a burden around. She said, bag lady, you gonna hurt your back, carry around that bag like that. She was saying that and saying it's the same thing I'm talking about. You carrying around this weight, and this shit is weighing you down. It's holding you down. It's holding you in place. You know what I'm saying? Even like dudes in the street saying, yeah, I got my foot on these neck. I got my foot on their neck. But to have your foot on somebody's neck, you got to stay down. You can't rise up. You know what I mean? You can't rise up if you got your foot on somebody's neck. You got to stay down to do that. In order to keep your foot on somebody's neck, then you got to stay down with them to keep them down. Right? So just analyze the things that we say, bro. You trying to get up, but then again, you saying you got your foot on somebody's neck. It's no way you can get up with your foot on somebody's neck. Vic, what up? Miss Tweety, what up? But yeah, it's no way for you to get up and rise up if you got your foot on somebody's neck. That's like, that's what they call it, an oxymoron. You can't do both. You can't do both things. You can't have it both ways. You can't have that both ways. But this is all aspects of the same thing, heavy heart. You know what I'm saying? Right? And that's why everybody can't have power, Tavon Miller. That's why everybody can't have power. That's why everybody can't have power. That's right. Word up. Word up, man. But we got these war zones in our communities, man. It's hard, man. A lot of us come from that. A lot of us have seen that. But you got to call it what it is. When you coming out your door and you got to worry about getting shot every day, that's a war. Every single day, that's a war. You in a war. That's a war. And a lot of us in America, we comfortable with living in war zones. Dalu, what up? We comfortable with living in war zones, just being honest. We comfortable with that shit. We shouldn't be, but we comfortable with that. It's no problem. We move through that. And don't get me wrong, I'll be all over. I'm not scared of my peoples. I love my peoples. I'm not scared of my peoples. And I know, whatever the Most High has for me, then that day is that day. That's gonna be that day. You can't change that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the stuff I do know about life, I do know that. You can't change that date. That date is written, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But on the same token, we comfortable with living in war zones. A lot of times we can move out of where we at, and we stay there anyway because this is what we used to. This is what we like. This is the type of time we on. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't a good look. That's something that we need to spiritually and emotionally come to grips with our own selves. Nobody can guide you out of that way of thinking or that way of feeling. People can help you and give you information, but you gotta want that. You gotta want that rightness for yourself, for your family, yourself. Until you want certain things for yourself, nothing's never gonna happen. And I think, Gillie, to his credit, he built a good life for his son and his family. And I just think people just wanted other things. Just because you want something for somebody, that don't mean they want it for themselves. I could want all the best for you. You gotta want that. You gotta want it for you. I could want all the best for you. You gotta want it for you. Word up. We gotta want that. We gotta want that for ourselves. Real talk. But just, I like to come with different perspectives of these same stories. It's another tragic story. We hear him all the time. Him being a rapper, the son of a celebrity. I don't think it's more than the deaths that we face every day in our own communities. I don't think it's more, but I think it is something for all of us to talk about as a community because it's on a bigger platform than the rest of the things that we going on in our personal lives. Straight up. Straight up. Y'all know I'm over here cooking while I'm talking to y'all too, right? Y'all know I'm over here getting busy. But I do think there's some bad stuff encoded into them deals that they making, and not just where they raping you for your money. I think there's some bad stuff, bad energy. I'm cooking brown stew chicken. I think there's some bad stuff encoded into all that stuff. Brown new stew chicken, rice and peas, and some cabbage. This chicken done. Yep. Yo, my brown stew chicken is amazing. I usually make it for other people. They love it. You heard? They love it. But my brown stew chicken is amazing. Yeah, they love my brown stew chicken. I ain't gonna front. But yeah, I think you already know YG TV. Bumba clock. Yeah, man. But I ain't gonna lie. That industry, they got some weird stuff going on. They got some weird stuff going on in that industry, man. They messing with some different sciences, you heard? They messing with some different sciences, man. We got to be mindful. Yo, what up, Leonardo Griffin? Now River in the building. What up? But yeah, that's just some things that I don't do. You know, a lot of guys is different. They be up here violating the dead, you know, doing certain stuff. Yo, Uncle Ralph, I can't really make oxtails, but I love oxtails. I love me some oxtails. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I love them. Yeah, man. But you know, we gotta send our condolences out there to Gillie and his family. You know what I'm saying? And you know, look at it. One shot. He got shot one time. You know, it only takes one shot, but one shot in the back. One shot in the back ended that man's life. You got people out here getting shot all kind of times. I got shot multiple times. You know, doing what I was doing out there in the streets. But he got shot one time in the back and met his demise. All this stuff is like lessons. All this stuff is lessons, yeah. No, peace. Yo, Lansky, what up? Yeah, I didn't know he was small. I didn't know that. Oxtail on pizza, they wild. It's probably good though. I might gotta taste that. You heard? Shayna said that's the most bangingest thing in the world. Oxtail on pizza. Oxtail on pizza? What y'all know about that, man? Yeah, R.I.P. the cheese, man. Yeah, I got shot 5 times. Yeah, I ain't know that. I ain't never heard of that. They said jerk chicken over fries. Yeah. But yeah, we got to watch the deals that we making, man. It might be a deal with the devil, you heard? Yeah, I got shot through my hands. I got shot in my back too. I shot in my back. I got shot through my hands. I got shot in my arm. But we got to watch these deals that we making, man. It might be a deal with the devil. You never know. Might be a deal with the devil. I ain't gonna front. Once you see people start coming out and talking about it, I ain't gonna lie. It was what I was used to. Why am I using this? Hold up. I'm bugging. I'm supposed to be using this shredder. I'm supposed to be using my shredder. Look what light you got. Straight up. I gotta watch them deals y'all making out there though. Think them deals are some bad deals, you heard? Y'all thinking about the money. Y'all thinking about the money. I'm thinking about the spiritual aspect. You don't know what you signing your way into. I would be scared to sign. Anybody. And not because they're going to rob me, neither. Straight up. Yeah, oxtail pizza is crazy, you heard? Oxtail got to come with some rice and peas, you heard? Yeah, I need rice and peas with my oxtail. Straight up. I need rice and beans with mine. Forget about all that. But just think about some of the celebrities that lost people close to them, when they made these big deals. I think Bill Cosby, Michael Jordan, Jennifer Hudson, Kanye West. Now you got Wallow. Who's some more people? Put it in the chat. I know it's more people. I'm just freestyling off the top of the head right now. I know it's more though. That's just some of the top people I know right now, off the top of the head. Dame Dash was with Aaliyah when she passed. Yeah, Kanye is definitely a major one. I mean, even the guys that I mess with, Desert Storm, we had a death, pre the real success of Desert Storm. Ron Du, R.I.P. Ron Du had passed. I mean, it was, it was internal. It was different stuff that people knew about. It wasn't like a mysterious death, but it was still a death that preempted the success of Desert Storm. Even though Clue had a buzz already, he already had a buzz. He was already getting money. He was already hot. After that, he really transcended. It really, Desert Storm really went up after Ron Du's passing. And Gigi's passing, R.I.P. Gigi and Ron Du from my crew. So, when we looking at this stuff, we got to look at it from all perspectives. You can't just always look from our perspectives. Just try to see stuff from different perspectives. Straight up. But it was great talking to y'all tonight. I'll be tapping in soon. I got some more stories, some more things to talk about. I'll be back in with y'all, give y'all my unique perspective on these issues, my reaction videos. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all sharing it, sharing with people y'all might think might need the information. Liking the stuff y'all like, disliking the stuff y'all don't. It is what it is. Subscribe so y'all know what's going on. Salute to everybody in the building. You already know Chocolate Kisses appreciate you. Bville E, Tavon Miller, Venezuela Reyes came through here, Leonardo, Daryl Call, Rafael Ortega, everybody that was on here. Yak, Just Talk, Real Talk. Make sure y'all subscribe to the people. Y'all already know what's hood love over here. Straight up. Salute to you. Thank you, Chocolate Kisses. I see y'all. Salute. Peace.